You want to go hunt some witches? Hey everyone, welcome back to Andrew's Wizardly Reads, and as always, I'm Andrew. Today, guys, I've got another book review for you. But before we get to that book review, make sure you are liking and subscribing and hitting that bell notification so you can get regular updates for when I put out new content. Post every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Now that said, guys, today's book review is going to be the blue, the black, the Strife. And what I mean by that is, if you know anything about my channel, I love blue and black covers with a little bit of white thrown in, and this cover is a banger. The actual name of the book is Winds of Strife by U.G. Gutman. Yuri is fantastic. I actually got to chat with the author. This is a self-pub book, by the way, book 1 in the Dawnless Night Trilogy. I got to chat with the author in Leslie's Discord, The Nerdy Narrative, and so we did a whole read-along this month for this book, and we got to discuss it with him and all sorts of things. It was fantastic. A great read. I kind of hybrid read this where I own this book 3 different ways. I have the physical copy because it feels great in the hand. It's printed really well. Like, you can tell Yuri got a good printer, and like the cover feels good, and it's got that crease right down the line, so for like easy opening. Oh, I love that. And anyway. And then the audio, which is narrated by Amanda Lee Cobb, who she's fantastic. She breathes so much life into the characters. So Yuri picked a great narrator, and then I've also got the ebook for when I'm just out and about and I don't want to damage my physical copy. So I read this 3 different ways, and I kind of just slowly read this and digested this over the course of the full month. Now, before we get into the book review, I do want to give a slight content warning. If you have issues with just physical and emotional and mental and all those types of abuse, this book really hits on those themes. Like, one of the main characters is downright abusive to everybody. There is lots of manipulation here. There is literally, the magic system is based on emotion and is rife for exploitation. So if you have issues for that, be forewarned and forearmed before you start Winds of Strife, because this is a very dark book in that regard. It's not specifically what I would call a grim, dark book, but it touches on very, very human, dark themes. So, that said, guys, this book is fantastic. I'm going to go ahead. I gave this a solid 4 out of 5 for a debut author and a first book in a series. This is great. So I'm going to go ahead and read the blurb on the back. It says, witch hunts have plagued the kingdom of Olianth for decades. Thousands were slain due to the king's paranoia of women who practice senspiritic magic. No more! Nye and his companions have seen enough of murder and misogyny. 15 years have passed since he joined the witch hunters. And now, at long last, an opportunity to destroy them from the inside reveals itself. An opportunity to overthrow their king and end his reign of cruelty. But 15 years of pretense have taken a toll. The strive for vengeance has steered Nye toward a path of violence and villainy. His hands are stained by the blood of countless innocents. His heart is scorched by grief, and his sanity hangs by a thread. Even if he can kill the king and see this revelation through, it may not suffice to purge the voices from his head. And that is a great segue here to talk about the characters. Specifically, let's start off with who I think the main pillar character is here, and that is Nye. Nye is a witch hunter, or a sun harbinger, I believe is his official title. And basically, he is given assignments by the king to go out and kill female magic users, which is senspiritic magic. The entire magic system in here is based off of emotion. So you've got your calm, you've got valor, you've got hatred, you've got anger fire, just all of these emotions, confidence and all that, makes up the magic system. But in this world, only the men are allowed to do magic because the king is somehow convinced that due to a calamity that was caused 500 years ago by a very powerful witch, that a woman is causing the Dawnless Night, which is basically every day the moon or the night gets a little bit longer. Well, not every day. Sometimes it gets a little shorter and gets a little longer, which actually helps fix an issue because I got stuck in the math. But that's neither here nor there. I'm sure it'll get explained. Yuri has already got me excited for book 2. But Nye is this witch hunter, and Nye is insane. Essentially, an event happened 15 years prior where a witch hunter showed up to his house and killed the woman he loved. And, you know, Nye survived, but in doing so, he went insane. He's got a voice in his head that talks to him that is just constantly causing him so much just agony and steering him towards madness. And so he has infiltrated the Sun Harbingers. He joined their order. But in order to get in good graces, he had to do what Sun Harbingers do and kill witches. And so he's got the blood of hundreds and hundreds of women on his hands just so he can bring this order down to stop the killing of further women, because he thinks the whole women are the cause of all evil is just nonsense. And so Nye is taking it on himself to infiltrate it and basically bring it down from the inside. He has worked all his way all the way up to about second in command. Then we've got, I believe his name is Kark. Kark is the basically the head of the Sun Harbingers, and he is not a good guy. He's second only to the king in magical power, and he wants to be the king. He wants to marry the princess and succeed the king, which very early on he gets supplanted there, and so kind of goes on a vendetta. And he's kind of a really, really interesting character to get a POV from, because he's not a good guy, but really he just wants power for power's sake. Our next main POV is, because we're talking about Nye and we're talking about Kark, the princess's name is Ivy. And Ivy shows up in the prologue here, and I still don't quite understand the prologue. I think that's going to have more ramifications in later books. But Ivy is basically the princess. She is a she's basically a prodigy at everything she does. We are told by the king very early on that anything that she tries at least once, she masters almost instantly. And we actually get to see her do this with swimming. Basically, she's never been outside the castle in her life. Nye takes her out to water. She flounders a little bit. He says, hey, do this and this. And she's an expert swimmer just like that. So there's something very, very strange going on with Ivy, because she is basically she terrifies Nye even. So we've also got our next female. We've actually got a lot of female POVs here. We've got, I'm just going to list off the ones that come to mind. We've got Mother, we've got Glitter, and we've got Diane and Grin. But the main ones I want to focus on are Glitter and Diane. Glitter is a kind of a revolutionary. She is a witch. She is a mesmerist, which I believe she uses calm. And she likes to confuse people when she fights. And Glitter is kind of where our comedy comes from here. She's the, I forget the actual term for it. She's the comedic relief. There we go. She is the comedic relief of this book. But at the same time, like, again, she is very, 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 very prone to abuse her magic to control other people through their emotions, which is very, very interesting, because I can't quite get a bead on Glitter, but she's fascinating, because she kills so many people just by being funny, and you'll just have to read and find out how she does that. But basically, she goes around and she kills Sun Harbingers. She and her gang, that is their entire goal, is to kill the Sun Harbingers who are killing the witches. And so she is kind of brought into this greater scheme of things by Kark and Nye, and it's this whole swirling political intrigue that's really, really interesting. And then there's Diane. Diane is a fervorist, and that means she harnesses passion. And basically, if Diane thinks something and she's passionate enough about it, she can do it. If it's She's basically all powerful within like a sphere of like as far as she can reach. So like as long as she believes something should happen, it can happen. So like if she wants to sink the city like Atlantis, she can do it, but she's got to really believe that it should happen. So there are some limitations placed on that all-powerful magic, which is really interesting. And we get to see her kind of struggle because basically what Diane is she is survivor. She is a survivor, not she is survivor. She is a survivor of one of Nye's kills. Basically, Nye goes around and he kills a bunch of witches. But what Nye is merciful, whereas most of the Harbingers will kill the whole family just to be on the safe side, Nye likes to save a lot of the younger women and squirrel them away and then train them up, kind of in this like little found family to help take down the kingdom. And so he's like cultivating a fervorist, he's cultivating mesmerists, he's cultivating empaths, which the empaths are the healers. And yeah, so he's cultivating this whole family, and it's really, 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 really cool. Structurally, there's a couple things that I kind of noticed here. Yuri is not afraid to just throw POVs in. So like you don't get Kark's POV right away. Like you meet Kark a bunch of times and then randomly in the middle of the book he will get a POV. And I actually really, really like this. Mainly because a lot of the times you will be reading a book and you'll be like, man, I wish I know what was going on in this guy's head at that particular moment. But not all the time. You know, I don't want to know this guy's story all the time. And Yuri gives me that. Basically, you get Nye, you get Ivy, you get Diane, and you get Glitter a lot. And then occasionally he'll just throw in, like, at one random point he throws in the King's POV. At another point he throws in a Kark POV. And it's just really, really interesting. He'll throw in a random, a member of Glitter's gang's POV. And it's just these little sprinklings of POVs that's actually really refreshing because you can go, oh, cool, this person isn't just a cardboard character anymore. We can actually go in and like interact and get in their thoughts. And I really, really, really enjoyed that. I actually found that writing style really refreshing. It works really well here in Winds of Strife. Another thing is the epilogue. I am as of yet undecided on how I feel on the epilogue. You'll have to read it to find out. So yeah, I'm not going to really expound on that anymore. But the epilogue has me thirsty or hungry for the second book. Like I need that now because now I'm curious because I think it's a really, really brave epilogue and a really, really interesting way to end a story like this. That said, guys, this is a solid 4 out of 5. We've got a great magic system. We've got compelling characters. We've got some important social themes that are addressed in this book. We've got a gorgeous cover, a great narrator. Honestly, we're banging on all cylinders here. So really the only reason it loses a star for me is going back to that structure. There is just, you know, sometimes, even though we get random POVs, we don't get rotating POVs, though. So, like, a lot of the times we'll go rotating, and then we'll go one POV for 3 chapters. And so that kind of, I would get, like, I'd be expecting another POV to keep it kind of fresh and keep me from feeling any particular sort of burnout in a story like this, and then you wouldn't get that POV. So it's just a small structural critique. And then, of course, there's the just contextual kind of issues that are addressed in here, which I think are important issues, but they are very, very, very tough to read. That said, fantastic book. You should definitely be picking up Winds of Strife. And giving it a go. Look at that cover. I'm gonna keep pushing the cover. You should be reading it! Yeah! That said, guys, let me know in the comments down below. Have you read Winds of Strife? Do you plan on reading Winds of Strife? Why haven't you read Winds of Strife? Let me know in the comments down below. Or, if you want to talk on a more regular basis, check the link, or check the description down below for the link to the Wizardly Duo Discord. We would love to have you. So, till next time, peace out. Stay magical. Bye.